Good evening. This is Dr. J.R. Dixon's Self-Help Channel. Tonight we're going to take you to a little further with the message on last evening about the black neighborhood. I hope that you got a chance to look at that video. If not, go look at that one before you look at this one, because I produce them as stepping stones. One builds on top of the other. So let's get right down to it. I've been having problems with these cameras, so I want to try to get this thing done as quick as possible. Okay, I told you about the three, at least the four questions of discovery: the why, the who, the what, the when, and some even the how. These are the questions that you must ask yourself whenever something is put on the screen, whether it comes to ABC, NBC, CBS, NBC, Fox News, CNN, your headline news. You need to ask these questions and see if you can get an answer. If you ask these questions, don't take what they say at face value, you'll get closer to the truth. For example, the big thing they had over Hillary Clinton when she was Secretary of State about the Benghazi fiasco, and it was a fiasco. Now we find out it wasn't nothing to it. We find out now that the stuff was misconstrued for ulterior motives. It is the ulterior motives that you need to ask these questions. If folk were honest and would tell the truth, you wouldn't have to ask these questions, but you must ask them. Here's the first one. After all these politicizing, see, I told you last night I'm going to show you how the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, and the RNC are exploiting not just the black folk but the poor folks, the uneducated, disenfranchised, but they are doing it to them, and say they have their best interests at heart, but they don't have your best interests at heart. It's scripted, just like wrestling. You know, wrestling is not real. They act like they hate each other. As soon as that camera off of them, they're the best of friends. As soon as that camera's off of Bonner, I bet you him and Barack are probably out having a beer. I'm telling you, man. I know some of y'all not going to believe this. You're going to say I'm crazy. Well, that's fine. Just ask the questions and see what you come up with. Start doing your own research. The internet, you can find anything you want to know. You can. Or there's another thing I do. I don't care what they say through our news networks here. I always go to the BBC. Yeah. Go over there and check it out. And when you do, you're going to see some of the stuff they left out intentionally. It's a sad state of affairs, brothers and sisters. Okay. After all of this, since I'm a Democrat, lifelong Democrat, but I'm a realist, and I'm for the truth. Here's the question. Why is the black neighborhood is the only neighborhood that is prevailing crime, overall crime across the United States? Won't care what state or city you go in, it's the same thing. The same model exists in North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Kentucky, Alabama, South Central Florida, California, Los Angeles. It's the same model. You will see it everywhere. Same as the identical model. Man, don't they make your mind, don't it trigger you and make you say, something wrong? Well, here's what it is. I'm going to go to another extreme view. I told y'all this is highly controversial. And it has to do with, it's historical again. I am a history buff. I love history. I always have. Then I take pride in my knowledge. Because knowledge is power. But if we forget our past, guess what? We endanger our future. So we got to keep looking back. See, we got to look back to get the right answer. Here it is. You remember when the slaves were emancipated by the Lincolns and everything, freed? There was a segment that didn't like it. And please pardon me, my white viewers. I'm not aiming this at you. This is your ancestors. See, you're just like me. We are the benefactors of the mistakes that were made. So it's not at you. Thank you. Alright. So the thing, there was a lot of folk, there was a segment that was very upset and mad over that freeing of the slaves. That's what consequently brought Lincoln's demise and his assassination. And the power that speak, the North won according to history, but there was a lot of resentment in the South and a lot of hate in the South. And guess what? It remains to today. Ignore it if you want to, but that's why we're in the shape we're in, because of that. And because you ignore ignorance, it strengthens the whole. The reason I know this is true, I can look at money. Go get a quarter, a dime, a nickel, a penny. If you can find a 50-cent piece, can you get that too? Look at those, put them down like I have right here, and look at the way the faces are turned. On all those pieces of money, coin money, all of those, these are all presidents, by the way. All our leaders and presidents are looking the same way, except one. Lincoln is the only president that got his back to the others. And he's on the lowest denomination of money, the penny. Why? I tell you why. Because he paid the blacks. He freed them. He stopped the wrong. See, whenever you stop the wrong and stand up for the right, you're gonna be labeled and you're gonna be looked down. And that's what they done. That same spirit, and it had to be a high level thing for this to happen. Look at this, the money. The North won. The North had the money, the power, right? Look at the money. Man, somebody hands their hands in this thing too. That's why I'm telling you. Man, I'm telling you, whew, this political thing is not right. See? And that same spirit that caused this money to be that way, saying Lincoln turned it back on the people. What people did he turn it back on? White people. And I'm not talking about you whites today. This is historical. Even though ancestors, I'm not upset with you. I can get along with you because I'm going to be smart and wise. Same thing about the game of billiards, pool. So a lot of folks laugh at that stuff. This stuff is true. They telling you, but you laughing and shucking and jiving, fitting the stereotype. Keep a Negro grinning and skinning and grinning, and you can tell him anything. And that's what they say. And a lot of us do it. Rap music got you skinning and grinning. Hip hop music got you skinning and grinning. See? Baggy pants got you skinning and grinning. Talking junk, we got a skinning and grinning. Selling the dope in our community, got a scanning and grinning. Prostitution in our community, we go along with scanning and grinning. Well, I ignore it. Preachers, pastors, all you worry about is an offering of the tithe, and your neighborhood is sinking lower and lower. That's what you just said. That's the skinning and grinning. As it has evolved and through a metamorphosis. And that is unrecognizable, but it's the same thing right here. The same thing, just changed its form, but it had the same genetic makeup. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? You know? So, this is why the black neighborhood is still the same way after all these years. Every other culture, go to Chinatown, they got their towns under control. Go up there where the Palestinians or the I can't even think of the one that come from the mafias. Anyway, I can't think of the name. But all these different cultures, they got their towns under control. But black towns, Harlem, my God, y'all know it's true. Names, help me out, add to it on your own, and you will see the mold. That mold presence still there, still felt, still in strong control. So there it is. That's the truth of the matter. And the two parties which we affiliate, Republicans and the Democrats, which represent the North and the South. Look, the North and the South. It's the same old age story y'all been played. It's just like a cinema. You know what? They are the directors, though. We just the players, and we're being played, y'all. We're being played. The American public always get played. The one on the lower, the brown. See what the color of that pen? The brown. I mean, the lowest entity, whether you're poor, white, or black, you're always gonna be the one that get played. There's a statement also. They say that 85% of the populace is stupid. That's what they say. It's 85%. And they say the 15% are the smart ones. 10% of that 15% know what's going on, have the knowledge of it, but they don't have no control over it. It's the upper 5% that know what's going on and they control it. These are the ones that are directing this stuff, that are running the show, calling the shots. They pick out. See, when this thing happened, Lincoln emancipated us. Yes, he did. Why are we the only one that can't get reparations? Ain't y'all ever asked them questions? Koreans got it, Vietnamese got it. We fought them Vietnamese and everything at Korean. Everybody had to get some forms of restitution or supplements from the government, our government that we helped build. That we plowed the field, picked the cotton, poked the tobacco, and did all these things. Pulled the rocks out of the field, tree stumps, and all this stuff. We built the country on our backs. Yes, we did. And we haven't received anything. Now the social programs, because some of y'all still on, is a form of slavery. See, if I give you $100 a month, guess what? And you depend on $100 a month and don't try to improve yourself, I got you. See, I just bought you for a measly some scraps. See, I ate the ham, but I gave you the fat and the skin. See, an analogy. So if you're on those social programs, you need to try get your education. Buy these grants out here. You don't have to pay it back. Go to school so you can get your trade. Go back to the model, like I told you, look at the other movie. The model that Booker T. Washington presented to them for everybody to get a trade. See, so they can take care of themselves. That's the one that was turned down. They went with W.E. Du Bois' model. And that model was the one that says that only educate the 10%, the smart ones. And then the smart ones come back. Well, they didn't never come back. That's why the black communities are like they are. It's a well-devised plan. The well-devised plan. So what can we do about it? I told you about this. I can't go into all the details in one video. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say this here to the pastors. And this is to the pastors because the black church is the only thing, the only entity that has kept us from drowning. The black church. Well, guess what? They didn't sold out too. They didn't sold out too. What our black leaders, the bishops of the conferences and things have done, and using you pastors, is they have took a model from the movie The Godfather. See, The Godfather. The Godfather is the bishop, the head bishop. He's the Godfather. He's the one that called all the shots. You pastors are his lieutenants and captains and so forth, and breaking on down colonels and generals, colonels, majors and captains and so forth, breaking it on down. So you are the ones that they use. And how did they use it? They use the church again. The church being used as they settle for, if I can live off my people and take my people's money and keep them happy and standing and grinning, shouting and jumping and running. And guess what? Their communities ain't changed. Ain't nothing changing. Crime going wild. I ain't worried. The bishops ain't worrying about it. No, they're not worried about it. They're not worried about this crime. Your sons and daughters going to jail, you know, in prison. They're not worried about it. Pay your tithes and bring me the tithes and offering. Then they take it and break it up and get the pastor a little bit of. Y'all know it's true. A little bit of. But I'm coming to tell you today, that's why the scripture said the judgment is going to start in the house of God. See, this is the first line of defense to get the black community back in cadence. In a progressive state, pastors and preachers must do it. I come today to warn you and tell you that's why judgment is going to start in the house of God. That's why. It's going to start with us preachers, us bishops. And the reason I can say what I know, because I was in the clique with you, I know what's going on. I know. And I know a lot of y'all know me, and I know you too. And it's not just here, around there, in every state, it's the same setup. Preachers exploiting their own people. We got exploited by the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. Now we're exploiting each other. I come today to warn you that God has said He's going to remove your candlestick from out of your place. You pastors, you say you're men to God, come back to God and join me. Come back to where righteousness, where God has called you. Because if you don't, He's going to remove your candlestick. I always said I don't try to get religious, but I have to get religious right now with you. So God is telling me to tell you, pastors, the ones that hear my voice today. He said, hear my voice and harden not your heart as you did in the days of provocation. Hear God's voice speaking to you to come back to righteousness. Stop falling for filthy lucre, which is money. Just a little taste of money, you sell your soul, a little taste of money. The Bible, that's why I say, for the love of money, the root of evil. See, come back to righteousness. Please, come back and get in your rightful place and help. And when you get in your place, we can bind these forces that are destroying our community. We can get rid of them drugs. Ain't it something how the Muslims can do it? They take control of their community. They get rid of the drugs, get the drug peddlers off the street. But we preachers around here in Eastern North Carolina, we just sit here, us pastors, us bishops, we just sit here and we're content. Our community. What we'll do, we'll pastor the church, but we'll live in an exclusive community away from around all that. Man, you're going to hell. You're going to hell, Pastor. You're going to join the folk. You letting them live in here, but you're going to hell. Please come back. As I close, please. And this together we can start. We got to start somewhere. We need to assume the position, our position that God will give us as the leaders. We 10%, we are the leaders. We never left. It's time for us to get satisfied with what's going on. I hope you've enjoyed what I said. Please, don't get upset. Just think. Use your energy to think. Don't get on no phone bad mouthing this program and me. Think for what's in your life. Think. Now, if you believe there is a God, like you preach there is a God, you're going to do the right thing. May God bless you and have a smile on you. We will see you the next time with further videos. Thank you.